Hello, loves, and welcome in. It is time for another speed build. I'm going to preface this once more with I am not a professional speed builder. This is not the main thing that I do on this channel, so I am very spinny with my camera. It's just how I build. You're just going to have to work with me here. So this is for a reward from my Discord. I have a reward system set up where if you get to level 20 in my Discord, which you level up from like chatting and such, then you get a tiny home build and you get to like specify what you want me to build with some parameters. The parameters that were given to me from Paula were jungle vibes and the crystal and archaeology table. It's no secret, love Selvadorada. I think it is absolutely stunning. I'm obsessed with this world. I wish I could live in this world. A lot of people are like, oh no, the heat. But I'm like, yeah, but the jungle. I like The Sims because, you know, you can't die from things like, you know, giant predators and things in the jungle. You know, it didn't work out well for Tarzan. I mean, it did, but like for a minute there, it didn't. Anyways, I love this pack so much. It's so much fun. I could honestly just have used this pack for this build and it would have been stunning, but I hate limiting myself to certain packs. So you're going to see me swap as per usual, like 500 different swatches on things. Swatches are the death of me. I just have a hard time deciding, and I need to like, I'm spinny with my camera because I need to see how the swatch that I'm looking at looks in contrast with like the rest of the room. Like, does it look good? Is it too different? You know, is it, because sometimes I do kind of like monochrome type builds. I use a lot of blacks when I'm building, a lot of like dark wood and black colors. I'm a goth at heart. Saw this new tile, by the way, the hex tile. I think that was a happy birthday one that they gave us. Thank Glob. I've been wanting a hex tile for the floor for so long. I love it so much. Every like kind of HGTV type show, they always put these hexes in old bathrooms. I'm a sucker for Victorians that have been renovated. And every time I'm like, man, I would love to have that in my room. But yeah, so this is the part where we get to look at the cool stats that I have from my Discord server. Noted I don't have the stats. I mean, I could probably dig them up from Twitch, but since I'm not on Twitch anymore, I didn't think that was as relevant. So we are going to go with just the Discord stats here. So Paula PG89, aka Paula. Paula is an amazing friend. She has been in my server since July 7th of 2020, which is impressive given that we're like 4 months away from 5 years. That's freaking crazy to think about. I love Paula so much. Paula is one of the amazing mods. She is, in my opinion, an underground sim guru. I'm fairly confident that she works for The Sims. I mean, I'm not, but I am. I mean, listen, all I'm saying is if you don't know something, Paula knows it. Like, it's Paula and Mrs. Batman are the two, like, go-tos for any specific gameplay question that you need. It's impressive. I would say probably the go-to for where's this one random object, insert vague description. That would definitely be Anya, K-Biz, or Lou. Those are the ones that I would go to for the where's this random object. Anya probably number one. She's very good at finding vague descriptions for objects. And it's always some stupid thing that like, if they had just put what it is in the name of it, it would be searchable, but they don't. So then you can never find it. Like, it would be like a shelf, but won't have shelf in the name, and it'll be called something like off the wall. And I'm like, how was this helpful for anybody? So the stats on my Discord for Paula, the lovely moderator, messages, 4,149 messages have been sent on Discord since 2020. She has sent 667 links, which is wild. I am convinced that a solid 3/4 of those are probably her announcements. I don't know how she's so good at it, but the second The Sims has an announcement, Paula is on it. Like immediately before I've even seen it, it's up. And she's like, hey, here's an announcement. There's going to be an update today. Here's the list of patch fixes. Here are the things to look out for. Also, I've heard wind in the community that this might break and this might break. So back up your saves. It's so helpful. I love it. So also we have, and then Paula's also great at letting us know what mods are going to break and when they've been fixed. Sky is also really good at letting us know when certain mods have been fixed, which is so helpful. The media that she has shared, 353 photos and or videos. I don't think Paula's ever sent a video, but all of them are photos that she has shared, which is amazing. Also cool about Paula is a D&D lover. So is Skylora Hawk in the last one that we did. But I have had the honor of being a DM or dungeon master for a few, actually, over the years, one-shots. It's been really fun, honestly. I am looking forward to it. We have another one coming up in a few months. Actually, I think it's only in 2 months now. Gosh, time is flying. But it's going to be fun. I just kind of do these, like, small group things every now and then for people because I just think it's entertaining, because why not? I haven't actually done a D&D session in a hot minute. The last one that we did was, I was trying to think about it. I'm pretty certain the last one that we did was the haunted dollhouse one, and that was fun because I used so I like to use Sims when I am doing D&D because it has a 1x1 grid, which if you've ever played D&D before, you would know that you need a 1x1 grid so that you can determine where your character can go. It works perfectly. I just say each 1x1 tile in The Sims is 5 feet, and it works so smoothly. So I like to use a lot of indoor combat situations. That way I can create cool builds for it. But yeah, Paula's literally like always down. She's like, you know what? If I can make it work, I will absolutely be there. She always plays fun characters. She's well more rounded than I am on my D&D knowledge, which is funny because I'm the DM. But I'm more of a wing it story first kind of DM. I lean heavily on my husband for the rules. My husband was a DM for, gosh, I want to say 3 years for his own podcast and his own D&D series, which was fantastic. So I normally lean on both of them for like, wait, can this happen? But yes, tons of fun. And my husband, for his birthday, decided that he wanted to do a one-shot. And the way that I built it, I can't open it up to everybody. So I just opened it up to the veterans who have done this before, because I'm kind of breaking the limits of what you can and cannot do in this one-shot. I'm undecided if I will record it. I am going to run it as a trial. That's how close I am to breaking this. I am going to run it as a trial prior to doing it with a group, just to see if it works. It'll be interesting. So yeah, there's always fun happening in the Discord. If you are ever interested in joining, just let me know. I'll send you the link. The theme that we went for this, like I said, changed the color palette a bajillion times. I shift things around. I have to actually move this bedroom around. I don't know why. Well, actually, I do know why. I was initially going to do a half bath in the second bedroom in that 2x2 room. But then I ended up deciding, you know what? You have such a like cool, unique house. Like, this isn't just a standard house. I feel like you should have your own bathroom in the second bedroom. That way, whether it's a teen or a guest, you should be allowed to have your own full bathroom. So I do fudge that around a bit. I did kind of cut some things out here and there where I just kept incessantly flipping back and forth between swatches. But I did keep the wood consistent throughout. I used that new Life and Death basket weave on the ground, or on the ground, on the floor. And then I use the Jungle Adventure, I believe, for the ceiling. Really love that new wood tone that we have. I think it works beautifully, especially with a lot of other packs. I hate when they give us really cool countertops or tables or just furniture in general, and it's always this like wood tone that's slightly different than every other wood tone. It drives me up the freaking wall. So thank you, gurus, for giving us a wood tone that we can actually mesh with other things. When we started this build, you saw a giant pile of random things at the base of the lot. That was because prior to starting recording, I was just like, you know what? I don't want like 40 minutes of me scrolling to find the random various objects in debug to be part of the video. So I just kind of like pooped them down there, and then I just scoot them around as I build. Like I said, you're going to see a lot of swatches change randomly because I am not a professional speed builder. I just do this for fun. And then I try to make it as less painful as possible when we go to do the tours. The light switches I do love. I wish we had black as a light switch option, which I understand. Like, no one has black light switches, but they would if they could be custom. And I think they should. Like, I build, like I said, I use black so much, or like dark grays and dark wood tones with my builds. And then there's just this like stark white cover, or it's like this beige color. But the beige color kind of makes me think of like outdated lots. So I'm like, this doesn't work for me, dog. So I'm like always the awkward stark white, like whatever. But yes, I always in the bathroom do two switches because I always think of like there's the one for the lights in there, and then there's the other for the exhaust fan, which obviously we don't have the exhaust fan, you know. But if we did, there's a switch for it. You see me here pausing to contemplate life because I'm like, how do I want to set up this kitchen? I struggle quite a bit for a minute here. I feel like that's been like the theme of this. I struggle. It's kind of how I build. I struggle. No, it's just because it's so hard when you're building to, do you do windows first and force the interior around the window so that the windows make sense and look pretty outside? Or do you do the opposite and you build the inside and then put the windows in to make the inside happen, and then it just looks really weird and awkward outside? Like, I feel like I kind of flip-flop how I do this based on the build that I'm working on, because sometimes it just makes more sense. If I'm doing more like a standard cookie cutter kind of house, then it makes more sense to kind of vaguely have the same layout of windows. But in this one, I have a ton of windows because I'm like, if you have the money to have a gigantic area for your in the jungle for your house, then I mean, you need the giant windows. You're here for the view. So yes, I also cut out, I do a lot of alt placing objects, and I do, as you just saw with the coffee, I do kind of cut that out because it's very tedious. You don't want to watch 20 minutes of me just scooting teeny tiny bits. So yeah, I had a ton of fun with this. As soon as I saw this theme, I was like, hoop, let's go. This is my favorite. And I have not built in the jungle for a hot minute, actually. God, I love this rug. Yeah, I think the last one that I did was a campground. I love making campgrounds because they're really fun. I grew up camping, although I don't think I would ever camp in the jungle. And I have not even braved camping where I'm at now. So where I am from, we don't have like any big predators to really worry about. I mean, like, I guess people say that there are like cats and things, but, and I'm not talking like panthers or anything. It's more like bobcats that you would hear, or there could be like foxes, but they're not going to fuck with you. So the problem is where I live now, I went from being afraid of, oh no, the raccoon might scratch on my tent, which has happened multiple times camping before, but they're just little trash pandas. Like, it's no big deal. Just, you know, slap the tent and they make their little demon sounds and they run away. Here, very different. Now that I am in the mountains, we have bears. very, very large black bears. And we're only like an hour from a very touristy area. So the black bears are like used to people, which kind of makes it worse. And it makes me nervous that the campgrounds here have like bear-proof dumpsters. Because I'm like, if they have bear-proof dumpsters, that means that there are enough bears here that you need to worry about them getting into the dumpsters, which means bears are frequently walking around here, and all I have is a piece of weatherproof tarp to keep me away from this bear. And I'm like, oh lordy, no. I was at a friend's house. She had a bonfire for her birthday, and I brought this up to them because they're from here. And, you know, John and I obviously moved here a couple years ago, so we haven't, you know, braved it yet. I was pregnant literally the day that we moved. I got pregnant. Just ta-da, became pregnant. So we have not been able to brave it. We are in our baby era right now where we've got to let him grow up because I'm not trying to ruin camping for everybody else. So I was just kind of asking them, like, have you ever had an encounter? And oh yes, they did. So I was like, what do you even do on a campground when you have a bear come at you? And they said that, she said she woke up because she heard like intense breathing out a like snout, like a lot louder than a dog would do. And it sounded big, and she knew that it was a bear very close to her that was like, and she had like a nugget. I think she said that her kiddo was like 2 at the time that was in the tent. And I'm like, oh my God, I would be hyperventilating. Like, what do you do? Like, apparently they have bear spray, which shoots like wasp spray, which I don't know if that exists everywhere because Paula is not from the States. So if this does not exist where you're at, Paula, wasp spray is like a jet stream that comes out, and it's like an intense poison that kills the bears. Okay, so if you were to mix the jet stream of the wasp spray with like a very intense concentrated version of pepper spray, which I'm sure everyone has all over the world. I don't know if wasps are a thing where you're at. I don't know. If you were to mix the two, that's what it is. It's basically just like a jet stream, because you're obviously not going to be up close and personal, I hope, with a bear. So you can just use bear spray and they'll run away because they're like, oh God, I don't want this. They also have bear bangers that you can do, but I don't even know if you can use a bear banger in a campground or not. But brilliant. So she's telling this story, and her husband wakes up and is aware of the situation, and all he has on him to do anything is this tiny little pocket knife. And he's like, okay, so I've got a bear and a pocket knife. How's this going to go? Then my friend was brilliant and she was like, wait, the keys are in here. And she hit the car alarm, and that scared the bear away. And I was like, that is absolutely brilliant. Between the flashing lights and then the loud sound, the bear just scurried real quick and went away. And I thought that was so smart. And apparently other people did too, because she said that it wasn't like a few minutes later that then her neighbors start having to hit theirs. And then the next one hits theirs. And then the next one hits theirs. And soon the whole campground is hitting their car alarm to scare off this bear, because everyone's like, oh, we know the drill. And I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this, y'all. I think I need like an RV. I need more than like something a toothpick can go through to protect me from bear. Just scared of it. So I like what I'm building in The Sims, and I'm thinking of things like, you know, campgrounds and you know, just stilted homes and fun things like that are with all the glass. You don't have to worry about things like, you know, creepy people staring at you in your windows, because that doesn't happen in this wonderful game. And then you don't have to worry about things like giant predators eating you alive while you're in the jungle and you're hiking around, because you don't have to worry about that. The most you have to worry about are skeleton curses from cursed treasure and bats and the occasional spider. And I mean, those seem like things that I would trade for giant predators in the jungle. So, you know, all things considered, I would be down to live in the Sims world. I think it would be great. Also, not to mention, you don't have to deal with mosquitoes. Like, that we have the mosquitoes you can place down, obviously, but like walking around in the jungle, like or just even like in Granite Falls when you're walking around, you're not getting eaten alive like you do in reality. My husband and I normally go get a cabin like once a year. A tradition that I've had since I was a kiddo, and we would rent a cabin and we'd make it one that you have enough like cool stuff. Usually we try to get one with a hot tub. So you have enough cool stuff that you can either stay there the whole time, or you stay there long enough that you can have like a cabin day, and then you can have a day where you go out and you like adventure around and things. So we decided this last trip that we were just gonna hang out because we had our kiddo. He was, oh gosh, how old was he? I want to say he was like 5 or 6 months old at this point. And so we didn't want to like obviously go do anything crazy because you're just kind of in survival still at that phase. And we decided we were just going to hang out, drink, do whatever we wanted. You know, it was one of those where mom gets a night to drink and then dad gets a night to drink. That way one of us was always sober should catastrophe happen. Well, I wasn't thinking about it, and it was my husband's night to drink. I was sober, and I didn't think about this. We were outside, and it was evening, and my kiddo was down for his second nap, so we were like, you know what, let's just hang out on the deck. This had a wraparound deck, a lot like this build has, and we were like, we'll throw some cornhole, which if cornhole's not a thing where you're from, I don't know if, again, I don't know what isn't. I thought lightning bugs were everywhere, or fireflies. I thought everyone had fireflies, and found out the fireflies are not everywhere. So cornhole is a game where you have 2 boards that are a decent distance apart, and they're kind of just like slanted and low to the ground, and there's a hole, hence cornhole. And then you throw either it's like a bean bag, or they're filled with sand, or they're filled with corn, and you just throw these bags, little square bags, that distance to try to get them either on the board as 1 point or in the hole as 2 points. And you have a person opposite of you trying to do the same thing, and you guys cancel each other out, and then whoever wins in the end, you know, I think it's first person to 20 wins. So super fun game. We were out there, we're playing cornhole, and we were out there for like, I mean, a solid like hour and a half playing, not even thinking about it. And the bugs don't eat me as bad when John's around. It must be his blood type, because he got eaten alive. And I mean like brutally alive. It was rough. I felt really bad. If I remember right, he had 12. No, I had 12. He had 20 mosquito bites all over his body. I had a couple of mine, because I didn't even feel it, which was the surprising thing. But yeah, I had a couple of mine actually scarred. But yeah, no, he was eaten alive. He had 20. And these didn't like go away in like a week. We had these for about 2 weeks before they started to go away. And I wasn't even itching mine. A lot of mine were in weird places on my arm where like if you don't brush it, like not you're brushing your arm, but like if you don't brush it against something or fabric, you know, touch it, then you would not know that there was a mosquito bite there. But the second like the towel grazes over it while you're in the shower or something, oh Lord, then you're like want to use a pine cone to scratch your whole body. So yeah, I like that in The Sims. You don't have to worry about getting eaten alive everywhere you go by mosquitoes, because that is a very, very real problem here. Well, I've rambled for about 23 minutes. I know that you don't want to hear me ramble for the rest of this video, so I am going to hush up while y'all watch the rest of this, and then I will pipe back in for the end here. But I hope that you like this build and enjoy the music. And now we are entering the screenshot portion of the video. I hope that you love this. I know I really did. I had a ton of fun making it. Like I said, I normally do these speed builds on Friday nights when we're hanging out in Discord with other pals on The Sims. It's always a fun time. Paula, you're such a great friend, and I have had so fun doing this series with both Sky and Paula so far. Up next is K-Biz, and I cannot wait. Thank you all again so much for being great friends and for challenging me on these builds. Until next time, you know the rules. Be good to yourself, be good to others, and I will see you soon. Bye, loves.